I grew up half a mile from CBGB. I was never a traditional person and got a lot of grief from some very conventional relatives in the family. One of my favorite things was seeing all the freaks when I'd ride the bus uptown or home. Downtown Manhattan's a lot different now. What I'm talking about is the 80s when I was growing up. And that's why we're in Forest Hills, Queens, discovering the four freaks from Queens, better known as the four punks from Queens, the Ramones. Recently, I decided to go learn about all the creatives that used to fascinate me as a child. This video is about someone discovering this legendary band. We're going to walk around some areas where John Cummings, Tommy Erdei, Doug Colvin, and Jeff Hyman walked around as kids. So, hey, ho, let's go. Forest Hills was considered a model suburb when the guys were growing up. Here's the ramp where the guys used to hang out, maybe sniffing some glue, or maybe up to some other shenanigans. Legend has it, this is where punk was born. The whole time I kept wondering, am I walking in the Ramones' footsteps? In 1974, Doug Colvin and John Cummings invited Jeff Hyman to join them in a band. Tommy was the manager. Originally, Jeff was supposed to play drums, Doug wanted to sing and play guitar, and Johnny would play guitar. And they were going to teach Richie Stern how to play bass. Richie didn't work out, and they reshuffled. And Tommy ended up joining the band instead of managing, and he played the drums. Their band name was inspired by Paul McCartney's Alias. When he'd check into a hotel, he'd go under the name of Paul Ramone. Doug suggested the band's name and added an E at the end. All band members adopted the surname Ramone. They became Johnny Ramone, Dee Dee Ramone, Joey Ramone, and Tommy Ramone. Johnny and Joey lived in Birchwood Towers for a time, separately, not together. They were with their own families. This is where Joey wrote Beat on a Brat. Joey, Johnny, Tommy, and Doug attended Forest Hills High School. Another known musician that went there is Simon and Garfunkel. In 1965 to 1967, John and Tommy were in a band called the Tangerine Puppets when they were students at Forest Hills High. The Tangerine Puppets were quite different from the Ramones. They had a more psychedelic sound. Hyman was in a band as well, a glam rock group called Sniper. And he went by the name Jeff Starship, and he could be seen walking down Queens Boulevard in glitter gear and cross-dressing for the glam rock look. He played at happening places like Max's Kansas City, Mercer Arts Center, Coventry, Club 82, and CBGB. Eventually, Jeff Hyman was kicked out of Sniper. There's two stories I heard about the Grover Cleveland. One is that in 1972, Johnny, with his then-wife Rosanna, moved in. And in 1976, he left Rosanna and Queens for the East Village. The other story is he lived here with his dad. A lot of the songs on the early album were written at the Grover Cleveland. They'd practice in Joey's mom's art gallery's basement, the art garden. You could just hear sounds streaming out of there. Joey was living and working there at the time. Sometimes she would find Dee Dee and Joey passed out in the gallery when she'd open in the mornings. Before they found their signature look of black leather, jeans, sneakers, and t-shirts, you could sometimes see them wearing spandex or glitter when they were trying to find a look to define themselves in their early days. I read I Slept with Joey Ramone by Mickey Lee, Joey's brother, and Punk Rock Blitzkrieg by Marky Ramone. I still have a lot of memoirs to catch up on, to read up on the whole band. I had a bonus surprise in my travels last year to LA. I went to Hollywood Forever Cemetery and got to visit Johnny and Dee Dee. These guys were outcasts growing up. Little did they realize they'd become legends. The Ramones never reached mainstream commercial success during their lifetime. They did have loyal fans, and their influence grew. They're more popular now than they were then. As one of the founders of punk rock, their influence will grow and will continue to influence bands forever. On March 18th, 2002, the original four members and Marky Ramone, the replacement drummer, were inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame. In 2011, the Ramones were awarded a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Joey is buried in New Mount Zion Cemetery in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, and Tommy is buried in New Montefiore Cemetery in West Babylon, New York. It doesn't feel right to say rest in peace to these guys, so punk the fuck out. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my channel.